I would thread something. I would thread something into the housing, you know, just like a plug. Just thread it in, and you're done. But it's, I don't know where the strain gauges are, but that'd be, you'd have to run those wires. Now it may be it's cheaper to put one of these on each strain gauge. It may be cheaper than putting wires in there.
You might be able to shoot with infrared, and infrared be able to pull the stress out from infrared.
You may, depending on how good you. Now this is not a great camera, so you're not. I don't know how much data you can pull off of that. I mean, in terms of seeing, comparing images, right, for strain. I don't know if you can see strain. What would you have to see?
Usually you do some sort of polarized light source when you're trying to look at strain in that way, optic.
When he's being the really smart guy, his voice gets really soft. I don't know why that always happens though. You know, you want to listen when he goes, and then you go.
Do any of you guys know, so if you had a camera, where is the technology on pressure-sensitive paint that changes color and you can calibrate based on strain, stress and strain? I know
you know about that stuff?
Boeing was working on that in the 90s.
Well, I know that there's photochromic, electrochromic paint, you know, all those kind of things.
That's actively used for stress, where the color is directly.
You're not going to get within 1%, but you might get.
Yeah,
they
big
use
pieces.
it in doing engines and things.
So
like
then,
that.
if you had the paint, then you wouldn't
Right.
need the
So
strain.
that's what you do.
That's a good
Go to him,
suggestion.
and we can put together a little package for you. But I think that's exactly the right question. We'll come up with 4 solutions, and then you lay them out. What's nice is you can prototype this for $500, and you'd know. And that's what's really important, is to be able to iterate quickly and see if it works.
If I was to be taking pictures, could you take them quite a bit? And if I want to download them so I can look at them, a whole bunch of things so I can see more.
It's just a power thing, right? It's just a battery thing.
And memory, yeah.
Yeah, battery and memory.
And that's another place where cell phones have been good, because they have very small memory chips now that are quite cheap.
So, but really, for
really
even
good
$2 or
stuff.
$3, if you're there, then that's got to be
We
useful.
were just speccing one for the thing we're doing that was, it's about like 60 or so cents for a megabyte.
Wow.
Of reusable, flash memory.
$60 for a megabyte.
60 cents.
60 cents for a megabyte.
Yeah.
That's way more than you'll ever need.
Not to plug, but we handle, in our Spectrum rep, we handle memory also.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you have
What's
better
going
prices.
inside the SD cards and things, we supply that type of memory.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just listening to you guys talk, and I'm thinking of a product we have that would be perfect, right? I really like the way you guys are talking. But I go to a lot of seminars, and I hear really smart people say, oh, all you need to do is this, that, since PC call me and it's handled. But very rarely do I ever see anybody actually finish it.
Yeah.
I'm serious. If I call you, and
Yeah.
let me give you an example.
Okay.
We make a towing dolly that goes under a car.
Okay.
I'm thinking that towers would love to know what the load was on it and how many miles it went.
Right.
And the speed.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Great application.
Seems simple, right?
Right.
I could just like say, do it now.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
give me an app and everything that I could go market and sell, start to finish.
Yeah, it's called, money.
We'll work for money.
Yeah, we work for money.
No. I think the breakdown is this: is if you don't know doctors, you don't know what you're shopping for, and they can tell you anything. And a lot of electronics people, they want to come off like geniuses. They're the wizards in the room, right? And so you can't tell if they really know a lot of stuff or not. You got to pick the guys like this that have been doing this for 30 years that have all the tricks. So we make it sound easy just because he knows all the tricks to get there cheap. You see what I mean? It's like a master carpenter. Inexpensive.
I just have to figure out if you're selling the solution or if you're just selling.
No. He does. He's a development guy. He'll go make it, and when he's done, he send you a box.
Yeah, and by the way, that's why I answer the phone. This is Derek.
Yeah.
I've got EE Dev, which is a development company. I rep these things, mainly because it brings work in, to be quite honest. And plus, it's kind of cool. I work with like Leapfrog and Mattel, and there's some serious innovation in these.
There's a lot of
companies.
product turn too. In the toy business, you got to turn it around, and you got to have it with them in a couple weeks. So we do a lot. There's a lot. I was doing 3 products a week when I was in LA. Finished, back to the people. Finished, back to the people. So there's a really good churn.
Yeah, but getting back to your point of getting things finished, the best thing to do is to sit down, analyze exactly what you need,
So you're
come
solving
up
the
with
right problem.
very achievable milestones, and make sure those milestones are met. And that's really the proof of the pudding. Because you're right, everybody can do everything until you have to start doing it.
The thing is, I've been in the toy business for like 20-something years, right? And I've ran into a lot of electronics people, and they're, you know, you got to shop a long time until you find a full service shop, and because they'll do a little piece or a little of that. So I landed on Derek and John after that time. So they will follow through and actually get the part and all that stuff. So I can certainly vouch for them.
How about Matt?
Okay.
Vernal and then Pat.
I've worked with these guys at Tech Up here, and they can attest to the fact that we've struggled to find some inexpensive parts for our product. We
Yeah.
have we have an earphone product that allows a person to listen to their music, radio, whatever they're hooked up to, and still be able to hear everything else that's going on around them at the same time.
Right.
And we're using balance arm receivers. Right now, even in China, I'm paying $10 a piece for them, and it's killing us.
So
And I see everything that you're using, it's got sound coming out of it.
Sure.
What, you know, I'm wearing the piece, it sits in your ear canal.
Yeah.
right.
So I need something low profile, something that we can fit. These guys have designed a little case.
Is that like noise canceling?
It's not noise canceling, it just comes from I'm an audiologist background, so it comes from the hearing aid world.
Right.
My little tout today, we just got our patent.
Yay! It's like AA, right?
I've been on this 5 years.
Yeah.
So, but
Inventors Anonymous.
One of the drawbacks to the product is that we had to go out and search for one product that had enough bass in it, because the first
Yeah.
thing that's lost when you open the ear up versus your Bose that you seal your ear off is the bass. And so, leaving the ear open, we had to find a product that had more emphasis on the bass to be able to have a pretty good reproduction of the sound, but at the same time, you know, I can sit here and listen to music and hear your whole conversation. And, you know, from a biker, runner, walker,
Sure,
businessman.
no, it's a universal product.
Yeah.
Who designed your system right now?
Me and Blake.
Okay. All right, so but you didn't have electronic engineers helping you out there. So you did great, but I think it's probably, we often see this when, I mean, before I was in the toy business, you'd look inside a consumer product and you'd don't know what you're looking at, and we'd sit there and open it up, and we'd have the smart people, and I could take $1 out of it, I could take $2, I could take $5 out of there, and you realize that you can shave tremendous amounts of money off there if you really can identify what you need to solve and what you don't need to solve, right? You may have you know, a V8 engine in there, and you only need, you know, a little 2-cylinder. So though I think it's just, you got to know, you know, what parts are available. Also, you got to get to the rep who, you know, at a big company that knows all their parts, and so Derek has been looking around for the right.
Talk about it?
Absolutely.
You want access to that?
Here's the thing, just with what you've described, you write that out, and I don't get too fancy. You know, I just give it bullet points.
Yeah.
I'll run it by the people. I'll run it by the people with a chip and say, look, here's our constraints. Can we do something? And if it's out of the range of what's doable, we'll let you know right away. If it's something doable, then we start looking at what we can do to cost reduce your product. So, be more than happy to look at that real quick.
What about the possibility of doing a direct connection for the low frequencies through the bone?
Oh, like those bone speaker things?
Bone connection.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about looking into something like that, and also, you know, right now I've got just a Bluetooth wireless clip on here, but making the whole unit a Bluetooth something that's integrated, almost like a
Right.
hearing aid that's in the back of the ear that sits right here.
Right.
But the speaker itself, so.
I want one of those for when I'm working out. That's why I've been thinking about this lately, because in my workouts, it doesn't work the way I really want. I want more of the bass, but I don't want to turn the music up particularly that loud.
Mm.
But I want I want the visceral experience there. So when you get that, I want to buy one.
Make sure when he looks at it, look at a different thing besides the Bluetooth you're using, because you're spending way too much power and way too much money on that. You know, so you'll cut out $3 or $4 probably just changing how you're transmitting your data, you know, with Bluetooth.
Bluetooth presents a barrier to new product developers if you're going to have two-way communication. You've got the FCC approval, the CE approvals that turn out to be rather expensive to go through. Does the new 4.0, will it have the same issues